We have 3 fishing vessels operating in Antarctica, and we have 1 vessel that is in charge of the transport, which is a transport vessel, Antarctic Provider. It comes to Montevideo port every roughly 45 days, maybe 60 days, and goes out to Antarctica with the crew change. And at the same time, then they unload all the meal that they have produced and bring to Montevideo to our warehouse here. This is our warehouse. This is where we receive all the krill meal that comes from Antarctica. The krill is processed on board the vessels. We actually make 3 products: oil for human nutrition, meal for use in pet, and then we're making a meal for aquaculture also.
80% of our volume goes to aquaculture. We intend to produce maybe 40,000 tons for aquaculture and pets, and that's just not a lot in terms of like the needs of aquaculture, but it's one of those alternative ingredients that can be part of helping the aquaculture move away from fish meal.
There will be more and more different alternative materials for fish feed, raw materials, and that is due to the fact that we cannot rely on just a few sources of raw materials, and especially marine resources are scarce and limited. So we need to find raw materials that are alternative.
As a fish feed producer, we are looking for alternatives to several ingredients that we're using, including fish meal and fish oil. From different perspective, from an economical perspective, sustainable perspective, but also of course from a biological perspective. And krill is actually one of the ingredients we are also using in not all of our products, but some specific products, because it's also an expensive ingredient. Shrimps as well, but mostly in our salmonid feeds. So feeds for trout and also salmon. That's where we use it.
Krill, which form these massive swarms and are actually thought to be one of the largest biomass of any animal species on the planet, they are consumed by all these different animals in the Antarctic, from whales to seals to fish to penguins to flying seabirds. Everybody down there is relying on krill. Without krill, you really wouldn't have the Antarctic ecosystems that we see today.
There is this interannual highly variability of the krill biomass, but also there are evidences that this biomass is decreasing through time, meaning that even in the higher periods of higher biomass, it's lower than it was in the past. As a general, in the northern part of the Antarctic Peninsula, the Pigocelis penguins populations are decreasing. The biomass of krill in the northern part of the Antarctic Peninsula is also suffering changes, local decreases and changes in the main distribution. So there's less krill available and whales are consuming more. And we also have the fishing that comes in the area and currently is fishing more than it was fishing 10 or 20 years ago. So it's probably a mix of factors that are taking this effect over the penguin populations.
We are allowed to catch only 1% of the total biomass available. And this is a very small amount for a small pelagic species. Usually for any anchovy or sardine fishery, kind of which produce fish meal, you are fishing about 40 to 60% of the stock. Here we are fishing only 1%. We expect in the future that the catches will not be static as now, it will change year to year. The expectation is that with the new management system, the quota may increase. I truly believe that will increase because, as I mentioned, the biomass sometimes is, the previous some years is really abundant. All the numbers suggest that in order to keep healthy population of predators, it's very unlikely that we're going to reach that 10%. venture that maybe just double that we have in the good years, but there will be also years with lower catches too.